Hello students, I am Janmeet Kaur and today we are taking the first chapter of your economics, Story of Village Palampur. In this chapter we are going to read about the different factors of production with land, labor, capital, human capital or the entrepreneur. These four factors of production we will study in detail and we will talk about the problems of the small farmers, big farmers, how the small and the big farmers are arranging capital. Then we will also discuss about the different farming and non-farming activities which are being done in the village Palampur. As we know that our country is a agricultural country, more than 60% of the people are engaged in agriculture. So we are taking an example of village Palampur, a hypothetical village, and we will talk about the different activities that are performed in this village. Now, farming is the main activity in the village Palampur. I remind you again that village Palampur is an hypothetical village just to make you understand about the different factors of production this village has been taken. In this village, the main activity of the people is farming, whereas small population is also engaged in small scale manufacturing, dairy products, transportation, etc. But that too on a very limited scale. These production activities, be it a farming or a non-farming, require natural resources, man-made resources, human efforts, and money. The village Palampur has about 450 families belonging to different castes. The upper caste families own a majority of land in the village. They have big houses and a pakka houses, whereas the poor people comprises the Dalit people. They are one third of the population and they live in the corner of the village. Their houses are small as well as their houses are not. Their houses are made up of mud and straw. In the village Palampur, most of the houses have electric connection, and this electricity is used in the agriculture sector also for the tube wells in the field and for small businesses in the non-farming sector. Village Palampur has two primary schools and one high school. There is a health center run by the government, one private dispensary where the sick people are treated. In this village Palampur, so these all are the features of a village Palampur. Palampur is well developed and connected with the neighboring village and towns like Raiganj and Shahpur. This is an hypothetical village just to know about the farming techniques which are being used in this village. There are two main type of activities which are being done in the village farm Palampur. That is the farming activities and non-farming activities such as dairy farming, transportation, grocery shops, computer shop. All these shops are comes under the non-farming activities which are performed in village Palampur. Now, for organizing any factors of production, for organizing any production, we need four main factors: land, labor, physical capital, and the human capital. Land is the first and the most important requirement. Land is a passive factor of production. We cannot increase the size of the land. Second requirement is the labor. We require two type of labor for any activity: skilled labor as well as unskilled labor. The third requirement is the physical capital, which include fixed capital and the working capital. And the fourth and the most important is the human capital or the entrepreneur, because without human capital or without human entrepreneur, we cannot do any production. It is the human being only who collect all the three factors and start a production. The first factor of production is land. Now we'll study about this in detail. Land is the first requirement and other natural resources such as water, forest, soil, minerals, etc. Land is a passive factor of production. We cannot increase the size of the land. we can only increase the productivity of the land by using the modern farming techniques such as HYV seeds, such as using the tube wells, using the irrigation, better irrigation facilities, fertilizers, manures, so and the multiple cropping. These are the different ways by which the productivity on the same land can be increased. As we cannot increase the size of the land, the people, the farmers in the village Palampur, they are using modern farming techniques to increase the productivity on a small piece of land. Second is the labor. Labor is required for doing physical work as well as for doing technical work. So we categorize labor into two categories. One is the skilled labor and other is the unskilled labor. Labor is a active factor of production. The wages which are being given to the labor depends upon the work that are being done by those. Because of the increase in the population, the labor get less wages as being described by the government, because the big farmers, they are hiring the laborers at a very low wages. Capital. Capital is of two types. One is the fixed capital and other is the working capital. Tools, machines, buildings can be used in production over many years, and they are the example of fixed capital. Tools and machines can be a small tools or can be a big machine, such as generators, turbines, harvesters, computers. So they all require investment, and this is called as a fixed capital. Second type of capital is the working capital. For producing any kind of thing, we require some money in hand to make the payments, to buy the raw material, to give the salary. So this is known as the working capital. Raw material and money in hand are the example of working capital, and they are used in the production of a. This is all about the first session. Hope you have learned this session and try to make notes out of these. Thank you.